You ready?
Keep that rocking for a minute, bro.
And I played all the games I played. Smooth walker, slick talker, anything I did. Get out of a chair, look at them and got it. Shit, I think I'm sprung now. I see the dude uptown who makes me want to settle down and have it fun now. He might be the one now. I can't explain it myself. I let my steady chip down, give you the rundown.
Welcome to Laugh and Jazz Lounge. Give yourselves a round of applause. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to welcome everybody because I know good and well there's somewhere else that you could have been tonight, but you chose to be here. So we appreciate that. We don't take it lightly that you spent your time and your money. Wait a minute, y'all did spend your money, right? I mean, you know, I wouldn't have think this was a free ride. I mean, you know, so I just want to make sure we're clear that there is time and money spent to bring this to you. So we're expecting time and money spent to get what we would like to get. But I guarantee you this, you're not going to regret it one bit. You will certainly get your money. Did y'all enjoy the food? Yeah. Okay, y'all enjoy the food? Yes, sir. So the food was catered by Brilliant's restaurant in Princess Anne, Maryland. If you've ever been in Princess Anne area, right there near Royal Farms. There's right behind Royal Farms. There's a red shed, okay, and there's a grill outside. And the way it is set up, it's a small building, but listen, when I tell you, the food is amazing. My man Tony Brooks has done an amazing job. Him and everybody that works with him. So we definitely want to give a shout out to Grillin's Restaurant in Princess Anne, Maryland, all right? Also, want to give it up to DJ G-Force. Rocking us with the music. So we got a great show tonight, y'all, and we're going to get started in just a few minutes. But first, what I want to do, there's a couple things I want to do, because one of I'm excited to be in this building for a lot of reasons. One, because this is the Chipman Cultural Center, and for those who may not know, there is a lot of African American history that has carried its way through this place. This was one of the stopping points for Harriet Tubman during the time of the Underground Railroad. This spot was also in history written out by Frederick Douglass as a lovely place in Salisbury, Maryland, that he wanted to help to lobby to get the upper sanctuary built on this place. So Frederick Douglass has written about this place. Also, according to history, Dr. King has set foot in this building, as well as Malcolm X and a few other great African American people that we recognize and we read about and we hear about in several places. And not to mention Mr. Charles Chipman, who had done a lot of great contributions in the area of education for this area. So those are just a few to name, but also you'll notice that there's a lot of pictures, artifacts. So this place has been converted into an African American history museum. So I say all that to say this: look, but don't touch. All right. Enjoy the things that you see. There are some things that can't be handled, like there's a couple books and stuff like that. So we're fine with that as long as they're placed back where they need to be. But as far as the things around us, let's be careful. Enjoy the history, enjoy the artifacts. But let's be careful and remember that this is a history museum. Everybody cool with that? Yeah. Awesome. So there's another thing that I want to share real quick, and this just like excited me to no end. I was just told that Laugh and Jazz has reached Baltimore.
Wow.
Okay, so no, that might not seem like a big deal to y'all, but I'm going to introduce a couple people. Can you give me your name?
Judy Burkhead.
And you are Trevor Burkhead. Okay, everybody give it up for the Burkhead. I'm feeling open right this minute. Okay, so Miss Judy, you were just telling me how you heard about us.
I'm listed on Jazz in Baltimore, Jazz and Baltimore Happenings. It's a group on Facebook. and they will list everything doing jazz-wise. We're big jazz people within a specific area. You guys popped up a couple weeks or so ago. And I actually sent out notices to a lot of my friends down here. I'm from Princess Anne. He's from Salisbury, but we've been in Baltimore almost 40 years.
Wow.
I have a couple friends that have gone. They've been here. They said, oh, well, you know, it's nice. It's small. It's intimate. We didn't really decide to come down until about 2 nights ago. But you guys are listed in Jazz and Justice in Baltimore on their jazz calendar. If anybody wants to join that group, you know, just go to your groups on Facebook, you know, and type it in, and it will list every jazz happening going on within a specific
Awesome.
area. So that's how we found it.
Give it up.
Yes.
So we are going and growing. Okay, I'm definitely feeling like opening up. I got a hand over here. Y'all clap it up for Lee Celeste so I can say.
Website that we're listed on as well, I came across last night actually called Evency. It's a national registry for arts in council and things that are going on across the nation, and we came up with that as well.
I know this ain't church, but tell somebody we getting there. We getting there. All right, so I'm excited about this. And listen, we want to thank you all for coming, and we're looking forward to an awesome show tonight. We have in the house, we have Dark Gold Jazz that's going to be rocking out. Also, we have a Poetry Slam that's going to be smack dab in the middle of this show for anybody who likes and appreciates poetry. This is National Poetry Month, so we definitely want to recognize the art gift and everybody who has the ability and the gift of using spoken word to get their point and their expression across. Also, we have our team of comedians. The Laughing Jazz Entertainment crew is in the house. Sheila Shishi, Deacon Donnie Dynamite. They're going to be rocking out with us. We have some more guests on the way, so we're going to go ahead and get the show started. Y'all ready for a great show?
Let's go!
Y'all ready for a great show? All right, well, listen, so let's keep that energy going because this band is amazing, and we're looking forward to what they have. So for the next however long they play, let's just feel the vibe and enjoy. Please welcome Dark Gold Jazz. Clap it up for them.
show you. Very nice, very nice. Dark gold chains, young.
Just maintain that.
Dark gold chains, young.
I know it sounds funny, but I just can't stand the pain. Girl, I'm leaving you tomorrow. Seems to me, girl, you know I've done all I can. You see, See, I beg, stole, and I borrow. Oh, that's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. No, why in the world would anybody put chains on me? See, I paid my dues in the end. Everybody wants me to be what they want me to be. I'm not happy when I try to think it. No, it's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. It's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning.
Hey, you better play that guitar, play that.
It's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. It's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. 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 They call it Stormy Monday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But Tuesdays just as bad. And Lord, and Wednesdays worse. And Thursdays, oh so sad. Flies on Friday and Saturday. I go out to play. The eagle flies on Friday. Yeah, yeah, yeah. On Saturday, I go out to play. And Sunday I go to church, where I kneel down to pray. mercy on me. Have mercy, yes. Mercy, 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 mercy on me. Don't you know I'm trying to find my baby? Want somebody, a short somebody, a tall somebody, a good looking somebody, a good credit somebody, a not crazy somebody. Bring her home to me. I forgot they had not in jail. Okay. Sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away, I wonder this time where she's gone. If she's going to stay. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away, and I know, 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 I Hey, I oughta leave the young thing alone, 'cause ain't no sunshine when she's gone. No sunshine when she's gone. It's darkness every day. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and she's always gone too long. Anytime she I was wondering how long you guys would take me doing this forever. Anyway, see, normally I'm wireless and I'd be walking out in the audience, picking with you, but I have a question for you. How many times did Bill Withers sing I Know in the first version of Ain't No Sunshine? And I beat him, so just so you know that. It's way less than I did. Quiz. Any of you guys play trivia? She's counting.
18.
You're close. 26. 26 times. So if you're in trivia and they say that, that's a winner. So now you know. And the other time he did it was 113 times. So, ain't no sunshine when she's on. Not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. In this house, this ain't no home. Anytime she's away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. Anytime she goes away. You just keep on using me until you pick me up. Until you pick me up. I'm good. I'm gonna tell you right now. Desmond is filling in for our normal drummer. And I'm Ken Luck. If you're interested in our future dates, there are cards on the stage that you can take with you. And please feel free to.
He's a leader.
I talk too much, that's why. But friend us on Facebook, you can check out the page there, and if you want to, my name is on the card, friend me, because normally I put it on my page and the band first. Second, first. I think Ken.
And that's Ken with 2 N's. K-E-N-N. I want to clap it up again for Dark Boat Jazz. They will be back later on in the show. So we're looking forward to what else they're going to bring us. Y'all having a good time? Yeah! All right, awesome. Listen, so we're going to keep this show going. And at this time, I want to introduce a young lady who I'm excited to bring to the stage. She's going to share a couple of songs with us that she has written herself. She's an extreme talent. And she's my niece. Yeah. I know, that's what I'm talking about. So please welcome to the stage, Songbird C. Come on and clap it up for her.
So I'm not much of a talker. I'll let my uncle do all that. But just to reintroduce myself, my name is Sierra. I go by Songbird C. I've been singing since I was 3 years old. I taught myself how to sing, so hopefully you guys will like 2 of my own original songs that I actually wrote, and had one of my friends actually produce them for me. So this is the first time I'm actually performing them because they're already on my album. So this is the first for me too. And the first one is going to be called Vibin', but it's actually like a concert type of feel, so we're going to have to cut it short because it's like a 7-minute song. Thinking about you gives me chills, like ice, it gives me a thrill, cold ice through my spine. Loving you is like a glass of wine. Freaky Fridays, it's turned out to big dough burn. Sunday mornings waking up with praise, like Lord, show me the way. Music on high, smelling like chicken and fries. Grandma's old school cheesecake and pies. I'm just vibing. 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 You relax my mind, giving me chills up my spine. I'll always make you mine. You're my morning story. I have no worries. It's just you and me till eternity. Love you like no one before. Buy you everything in the store. That's how much you got me vibing. No wasted time. or baggage. I'm just vibing. 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 How you do it? I'm just vibing, vibing. I'm just vibing. Like I said, it's my first time performing. What you doing? I'm just vibing. How you do it? I'm just vibing. I'm just vibing. What you do? I'm just vibing. How you do it? I'm just vibing. I'm just vibing. What you do? I'm just vibing. How you do it? I'm just vibing. I'm just vibing. What you do? I'm just vibing. How you do it? I'm just vibing. I'm just vibing. The second song is actually, well, it's supposed to be a cover, but I actually ended up writing my own lyrics to the song Floetry, Say Yes. But my version is called Reminiscing. Sitting here reminiscing about within you. Sitting here reminiscing about what I'm missing is you. Sitting here reminiscing about what I'm missing is you. Sitting here reminiscing about what I'm missing is you. Oh, sitting here reminiscing about what I'm missing is you. I'll climb a mountain and climb a hill to Netflix and chill. My love is for real. I hold you tight in the middle of the night. Never let you go, never let you on my side. I'm here for the long haul, for an empire to know. Motion in the way that I want you to be. You'll always be right there for me. Sitting here reminiscing about what I'm missing is you. Sitting here reminiscing about what I'm missing is you. Sitting here reminiscing about what I'm missing is you. It's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. Sitting here reminiscing about what I'm missing is you. Oh, no, no, no. Sitting here reminiscing about what I'm missing is you, it's you, it's you. Sitting here reminiscing about what I'm missing is you. It's you. It's you, it's you, it's you, it's you, it's you. Yeah. Sitting here reminiscing about what I'm missing is you. And this one is one of my favorite gospel songs that I'm actually gonna do. Even though I said I was gonna do 2 songs, but I know my uncle probably looking at me like, do it.
Go ahead.
So this one I'm gonna actually do acapella, so you won't hear the track also playing in the background. Exceedingly, abundantly, above all you could ask or think, according to the power that worketh in you. God is able to do just what He said He would do, and He's gonna fulfill every promise to you. Don't give up on God, 'cause He won't give up on you. He's able. Oh, 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 He's able. Oh, 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 He's able. Exceedingly, abundantly, above all you could ask or think, according to the power that worketh in you. God is able to do just what He said He would do, and He's gonna fulfill every promise to you. Don't give up on God, 'cause He won't give up on you. He's able.
Come on and clap it up for her again. I was kind of reluctant to tell y'all that she was my niece because I ain't never heard her sing. I mean, not like that. She used to always run around when she was little, singing the theme song to the big comfy couch. But I'm extremely proud. Wow, good job. Clap it up for her again. This is the part of the show where I'm getting ready to take a back seat for a minute. But so we get ready to do our poetry slam. Y'all ready for some spoken word? Y'all ready for some words of inspiration, encouragement, enlightenment, empowerment? All right here, we have some of the shore's most amazing poets and spoken word artists right here tonight. Right, so I need y'all to buckle your seatbelts, hold on tight. But listen, here's what we do. This is poetry, right? So at this point, if they do something that you like, we snap it up. Let me see everybody practice that. Okay, so here's why this is important. Because sometimes what can happen is right in the middle of a poet's flow, if we get too loud, that could cause them to kind of lose the impact that the piece is supposed to have. So a snap is an acknowledgement of what they're doing, but also it's not a disruption to what they're doing. Everybody cool with that? All right, so did I break that down real good? Almost sound like a poet up here, didn't it? But anyway. Mary had a little lamb. And his feet, not his fleece, but his feet was white as snow. He needed some lotion, don't you know? But anyway, so as I said though, I'm going to take a back seat tonight. Thank you. See, okay, so, but I am going to introduce one of the poets and one of the ladies of Latin Jazz, and my big sister, an amazing and extremely gifted young lady in her own right, that we love dearly, and she loves us back. Come on and clap it up for Miss Lisa Lips.
Hello, everybody. I want to say thanks to all of you from the beginning, because y'all have been on a journey with me that I was not prepared for. And Sierra was the last voice my mother ever heard sing. And that's how I learned of her. And so when we started out, she had gotten sick and we fought through it, and y'all stood by me, and she finally went home in the end of March. And y'all have been right here with me, so thanks to everybody. I want to talk about my poetry journey first. I came out here tonight with my cousin, Yolanda, and if it wasn't for her, I would have never found this poetry thing here. Because a few years back, she was like, my nephew's doing this little poetry thing, and I think I want to go. You want to ride with me? I was like, all right. And we went to some little storefront. Jamaica was there, and these were amazing young people speaking their heart, and I was blown away. And sometime along the way, Yolanda got busy, and I started following them around everywhere. And at the time, I was doing a radio show, so I put them to work and put them on air. And Jermichael had been informed that I write, and he called me out on the radio and made me have to do something. And that's how I started standing up here, because I wrote all my life, but I never let anybody hear me say anything. But so along the way, as part of that journey, I met Sister Big. Sister Big pretty much stopped everybody's heart with a piece called Muhammad Loves Me. And I just knew that this child was about to die from being treated improperly by a man who lied, who had AIDS. Because she told that piece in such an impactful way that I believed every word that came out of her mouth that night. I wanted to hug her, and I didn't know what to do. But that's how I came to be amongst these people. So I am humbled to have this mic at this point, because they led the way. So I appreciate their talent and for encouraging me and bringing us here full circle. So I want to start tonight with a piece that I did way back. I think it was 2009 maybe. J.O., who was one of the other poets, and she put together an album of the females of the group. And I did this piece on her album. And I haven't done it since. Mostly because this piece is very personal. And I wrote it about the things that I deal with on a daily basis in my life prior to losing my parents. This piece is called An Unlived Life. How do you define a life that has been pushed down and bound by so much pressure that it not only doesn't have a dream, but has no idea how to dream? A life that is used to imitating reality, so much so that it no longer knows how to differentiate true living from only imitations of life. Someone who was once a child of hope, someone who believed in beauty, in art, and music, now just going through the motions because her desires were stolen by a sense of unnecessary evil. To family, whose only concern is what they want and need, and not whether her needs are ever met. Who taught her to believe that her life was created with the sole purpose of giving them security when they got old, and that her life would only become hers when that duty ceased to exist. And then only really when her sibling, who's younger, can go on and not need her. To friends, real or perceived, who only call when they're in need and have nothing to offer when need darkens her door. To relationships full of promise with no means or intentions of being kept, just for the chance to use her trust and then discard her when she no longer amuses them. So, how does she escape? She tried running, but the lie is so deeply seated within that she feels obligated to return, only to be greeted with guilt for trying to live as God intended. Free will has no place in her life because to do anything she desired would mean disappointing someone else. An act that is unacceptable and punishable by distance and silent disapproval that makes her apologize to them for ever thinking she had the right to live anyway. Even the fact that this is being put into words frightens her because she fears the repercussions of what will happen if they see. So how does this life unlived find her true light? Can she ever really have the things so many take for granted? Or has she been hobbled so long that her light will never burn true? Can someone tell me how to really live? Really? Thank you. Thank you for indulging my emotions for a moment, and hopefully we will lighten the mood a little bit now as we move forward. I want to bring to the stage Sister Big, who I'm soon going to have to call Sister Small because she keeps getting small every time I see her. Sister, come give us something.
Shameless plug. My recently published book is in my hand. I don't have copies tonight. I will have copies this coming week. They are available on Amazon, and I can give anybody the information. All right. This is I've Got the Healing Power. You get a healing. She get a healing, like Oprah. You get a healing, we get a healing, she get a healing, we all get a healing. Get the kneel. All y'all leech on me. Surging the bloodline, this be sublime. Do y'all know who I am? Second corsal, second coming. I'm a third coming. I'm emerging like shark fin. I'm dorsal. Consider this a rehearsal. A muscle exerted too far, and y'all still want to spar with me. I told you before, I'm not to be played with. I spoke this before in a song about being a balm, and you can soak this into your skin and envelop this within. You can call me Dr. Poem. In the morning, you can seek your healing. Anoint yourself with this passage and Bibles and find resolve by sundown. Find your peace with this menthol release. It's a capsaicin treatment. I'm tracing, pounding the pressure, and I've got the healing power, y'all. Don't underestimate me. You better cower, you better buck off. And how do you reclaim the fear after I've scared you to death? You pray. You sit unnerved and unseated. You're often muted and you're welcoming the autopsy. I'm the winner now. It's dangerous now and you're disobedient and we must correct you if you got the healing power. You must not neglect. You can reign in this chaos with strength. Recover with the ease of tightropes and trapeze. I'm telling you how to get along. You can glide across this piece through air flips. Why are we even sweating each other, y'all? We both king and queen. We are already holding the healing power, and if you forgot, you got a healing. I got a healing. We got a healing. Get the kneeling.
Thank you, sister. I think you left some up here, but I'll bring it to you. So, Sister Big is going to come back to us in a couple of minutes, but right now we're going to hand it over to our fearless leader, King Langston.
All right, so first off, thank everybody for having me. My name is Jermichael Mitchell. In the poetry round, I go by King Langston. So I'll be doing all of my pieces right now, and then I'll be having a seat for the night to listen to everybody else. So mine's is called Broken to Masterpiece. It says, the pain ran so deep, I didn't know which way to turn. So confused about why, you see healing was all I yearned. Wanted to just give up, no longer wanted to try. Deep down in my brokenness, all I could do was cry or want to die. I would have my ups and downs, just going with the flow. Maybe in this brokenness, I'll find a way to grow. So I look at the pieces, swept them all in a pile. I prayed over those pieces, ready for the next mile. I started putting them back together. Had no blueprint and had no plan. But I knew in this brokenness, I could become a better man. Started working on myself. Some things before I couldn't see, but the power that was inside had to be brought outside of me. With these pieces that I had, recreation was a must. A masterpiece I created, because in the creator I trust. So the lesson that I learned was that even in my mess, my brokenness is a chance for me to pass another test. Broken to masterpiece.
Yeah.
This piece is called Ode to Life. At first I didn't understand your life. I guess it was because I was trying to find my way. Seeing you favored others more than me, no matter how hard I would pray. Growing up in the struggle, but I knew I deserved way more. Sometimes the lights were cut off, and sometimes eviction notices on the door. No man around to teach me how to be one. Sometimes the tears would flow. Thank God for all the strong women in my life. They taught me more than they know. Then the coming of age happened. That's when I started to understand. You were just teaching God's lesson. This was all a part of God's plan. You weren't in control at all. It was all on me. Had to take the good with the bad and become the best I could be. Loving you was a choice I had, life, no matter how dark things could become. I was blessed in my journey, more than others and then some. So glad I found my purpose. It gave me a vision for my walk. So glad I started loving you, life. Gave me confidence when I talk. See, my prayers now were for strength. No longer prayed for better days. I learned to control my emotion. I knew I had to change my ways. As I grew in my journey, I figured out what was true. You see, life, you're so amazing. And this is my ode to you. So this last piece is like one of the newest pieces, and it's more or less about my father. I grew up in a single mother home without my father. So this is kind of sort of a letter to my father. It's called Dear Dad. It says, Dear Dad, so much on my mind, you see, I always wondered how it went down. What you had going on in your life that caused you not to want to be around. Days I would crave for your presence, just to say it was going to be okay. Wanting to feel a father's love, and that was something every day I would pray. I thought maybe you weren't ready, because she had me in her teens. But having you in my life, was all a part of my dreams. I watched my mother struggle, and not once did she have a bad thing to say, but she didn't have to, because I felt some type of way anyway. My confusion turned to anger, and my anger ended up turning into hate. At such a young age, questioning God, how could this be my fate? So many tears I cried, but one day my mind changed. I couldn't let your actions control me anymore. You see, I just couldn't stay the same. So I started looking at things different. You see, this was a curse and a gift. Changed my focus on things, and that gave my life a new lift. Not having you taught me valuable lessons. I just had to take heed. I could still be a great man. You see, I just had to believe. All the mistakes that you made, I now knew not to make. Be in my children's lives. Teach them love, not hate. Hug them, kiss them, tell them it's okay to cry. Let them know they're beautiful and amazing, and encourage them to always have pride. Support them in their dreams. Tell them to shoot for the stars. No matter where they go, what they go through, you see they are more than their scars. I really must thank you, and I'm grateful for the pain. Taught me so much. Gotta know there's sunshine after the rain. Years later in life, I realized God has always had the plan. He was allowing the hurt to turn me into a greater man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Stand it up again for King Lex. All right, so let's go for round 2 with Sister B. I know you got some fire for us this time, right?
This is called Cutting the Stem. I talk a lot about the process of growing a flower in this book, and I take you on a journey from, first putting your seed in to blooming to, the cutting the stem, and if you're not unsure if it's going to bloom or not, you have to go through that topsy-turvy point of your life, and then you get to the part where the flower looks like it's going to keep some life to it, so you think everything's cool, and then something hits you again and you go down again. So the book takes you on a journey from your seedling all the way to your spreading when your flower is in the final stage. So I talk a lot about what to do when you've lost control, or when your flower is turned brown, or your green thumb is now brown. So this poem is called Cutting the Stem. When handling is improper and at the very least unprotected, you must cut away the contamination. It's a galvanizing task, which means it's strenuous. Henceforth, we've never been allowed to do any sordid thing to discombobulate, meaning we can't allow ourselves to fall, to prey to the victim. We use precise cutting-edge work, and it allows the tumor to be outsourced. We have to get the badness out of us. We have to baptize body for the rooted cavity. We're a drowning embolism, and we're decreasing the plot, which means we need to snuff it out. There's an agreement which meets lament, and we're bunched, unable to resuscitate, and our breathing gets sluggish. We think we're at the end now, and we are not, and there is always a sun rises. We attribute these things to mangled management, and here's our light bulb moment, aha. Every time we prune and we cut away at the negative thing, we're maximizing our talents. Henceforth, there's no capping. What kids say now, no cap. There is no cap, and I'm all about the crusher. And every move of yours throws off the balance, and the goal is to always stay focused, spelled with pH. We don't want our pH balance off, and that's cutting the stem. You want another one? Yeah. Okay. Thought I had to stick to religious stuff, so I had religious poems in mind tonight. So this is Ascensio Isu, which means a godly ascension, and I just retell the story of God's godly ascension in my own mind. When breaking ground on already shaky foundation, you must wonder if building here is where God resides. Do we lie and quake with the quiver, and I stare up at the sky, seeing Lapai ascended, and my small mind can't always fathom God's power. My melancholy showers are like fresh rain, and I'm wondering if I'll see God at the end. I've been battling a crippling, lonely depression, and I'm questioning if there's a hidden lesson. I've been guilty of pushing folks away, and of no fault of their own, I'm fearful that I perform this separation thing again. They've all expired attempts at reconciliation. They don't want nothing to do with me now, y'all. I'm alive with desperation, and I've learned how to live with solitude, and she can be rude. We've been caught up before, all up in arms, and the Holy Ghost swept us, and we became like his image. But in the moment, we can't find our Savior. Sitting knee to ankle leaf skirts, nor is he behind the esteemed pulpits of closeted queens. He's housed inside the hearts of people like me, the unfaithful. He's stapled into the minds of people like you, the weak, and he's in the broken man's physique. We found and assumed this godly movement, crucifying the father and the mother, and we love them more than ourselves. We cape for them all the time. We long for them before we were born, not to save them. We oftentimes find ourselves slaving for him. Unbeknownst to us, we become cult-like in our mind. We become stagnant, and we forget what he's all about, y'all. We are praying for the roundup and pleading for the rapture, and our assumption to the grand Dame Mary is like creatures with creative tongues. We don't know what to do. We be sprung with the back end, and we're springing with the forward march. We're breaking ground on already shaky foundation, and you must wonder if building here is where God resides. Do we pepper our forehead with oil, or do we plant the seed and till the soil? Essentially, Sue. Thank you.
Thank you. One more time, Sister Bailey. I love it. All right, so I got a couple more I'm going to do here. I was dubbed Lisa Lips quite a few years ago when I was still doing radio, and it has become my persona. And as such, relationship issues have become a big part of my writing. So I have a couple of pieces here I'm going to do. The first piece is called Fortify and Renew. Come, my love, into the safety of my embrace. Allow me to hold you till the ills of the day pass. Allow my flesh to melt into yours so that you know what it is to be wordlessly worshipped. I know the world outside sees you as a menace because of your melanated skin. But in here, you're a king. Allow your queen to attend to you. As you take your rightful position in your kingdom, and I, as your loyal companion, will serve thee. So rest in my care, love, for the morrow cometh. Fortify and renew, so that you might conquer another day. Thank you. And this piece is kind of also, I wrote it a while back, but it's about, you know, now that we have social media, so many people are meeting online and becoming involved with each other without ever meeting face to face. So I wrote this piece concerning that kind of a relationship called Breathe Your Air. I woke up this morning all hot and bothered, dreaming about breathing your air. We know each other, but we don't know each other. We talk full days away, sharing dreams, sharing problems, sharing love. But we have yet to breathe the same air because we live in different cities, in different states, halfway across the country from each other. Yet, when my heart beats, you feel it. You know me like you stood beside me for years. Can tell when things are not quite okay. The other day, I just kind of felt blue. And before the thought was complete, my phone was ringing. But times are changing for us. You've decided that this distance is overwhelming. You have claimed me as your queen and have set out to build your kingdom around me. So I'm ready and waiting, sitting here, feeling your love, and ready to be breathing your air. Thank you all. Brother McCoy, you ready to take this thing back over?
Everybody clap it up for our man. All right, y'all still having a good time? Everybody good?
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep this going. Y'all ready for some comedy?
Yeah.
All right, because we are called Laughing Jazz for a reason. So we ready to bring somebody to the stage that after the show, I'm taking her home with me. So you know me. Real good. I mean, she's my wife, so I mean, I can't take her home with me. I was like, oh my gosh, what kind of thing is this? I didn't know I was coming to one of them. This is one of them swinging single kind of things. No, but no, I'm definitely I'm gonna make her my girlfriend and get her number. Have a few kids with her.
443.
And, wait, I already did all that. So I ain't got that else for it. But anyway, please welcome to the stage the missus. Come on and clap it up for Sheila.
It's like you're looking through a telescope. You see where you're gonna be. Growing, getting better. You're not the person they see. Can't be mad at the things you've been through.
Thank you.
Built your muscle.
Well, good evening again, everybody. Hello. I think every comedian gets on stage and asks everybody how they doing. I'm not gonna ask you that tonight. Cause I figure by now y'all are full, ain't you? I know I am. Y'all give it up for the poets. And the jazz company, what, give me a name, Rock?
Dark Gold Jazz.
Dark Gold Jazz.
An unforgettable name.
Well, see, I'm over 50, so yeah, it can be forgettable, it's just not on purpose. How many over 30 in the room? Right, over 40? Yes, over 50. Y'all are looking good. Okay, we are making this room look really, really good. I'm not gonna go anything over 50, because we're gonna bow to you. We're over 50. But listen, go ahead, girl. I heard you. I'm gonna leave it right there. Listen, we're gonna make these numbers look real good as we grow older, okay? But the poets were absolutely wonderful. I'm telling you. I wrote a quick little song. I mean, a little poem. I wrote a little poem, and I want y'all to kind of get with me on that, right? Y'all ready? Okay, because I gotta do this real quick because I'm sleepy. Y'all hear me breathing? Just walking from here to there, I'm out of breath. So we're gonna do this real quick, okay? Can y'all give me like a little? No, I want a beat like, yeah, okay. Real quick, I wrote something in the back, it's gonna be deep. I wrote something in the back, it's gonna be deep. I wrote something in the back, it's gonna be deep. You wanna know what it is? You wanna know what it is? You wanna know what it is? Ocean. All right, step it up for me.
sorry.
It's all right.
I thought it was funny. I thought it was pretty funny back there. But you know, my husband and I, we've raised several children. Some of ours and some somebody else's. We still don't know where they're at, but you know. We raised a couple of kids in our time together. And there are 2 children that we're looking for. We've been looking for these children for a very, very long time. They live in our house. We haven't quite met them. They live in our house. They really do. Y'all are laughing, but I'm so serious. We haven't met them yet, but we know they're there. We know that they are in our house. They're eating up stuff. They take stuff. Y'all got there at your house too. Look, we even got names for them. We know their names. We just haven't met them yet. They're called Not Me and I Don't Know. 2 kids. They're in our house. Not Me and I Don't Know is getting our children in trouble. We know they live there. Y'all know who y'all. They around the house. They invisible. Who moved the keys to the van? Not me. And then they'll blame, I don't know. They kind of go together. You know what I'm saying? Who ate the last piece of cake? Not me. I don't know. Who moved my shoe? Not me. I don't know. They live in our house, I'm trying to tell you. And when I find them, I'm busting they behind. They've been in our house for years. Our oldest is 33. Y'all can clap it up for me. I look good, I know I do. But yeah, you know, he's the oldest, and for years he's been blaming stuff. When he was by himself as a kid, he would always blame Not Me and I Don't Know. He was the only kid for like 4 years. He's like 4 years older than the next child. It's like, who did that? Not me. I don't know. I think he created them, but they're there. They're still in our house. We're gonna find them and bust their tail. But they at your house now? No, they still at my house. I'm telling you. Must be, because they still at my house. I'm telling you, they still at my house. I need them gone. I need them out. I'm not going to be up here long, I promise you, because I really don't want to be up here long. But I got a song that I wrote. I do a little singing. I'm wild. But I want y'all to help me sing. Is that okay? Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate you. I like you. You're welcome back anytime. But I wrote a little song. I'm going to sing a phrase, and then I want you all to sing, I want it to stop. Okay? It's going, I want it to stop. Can y'all sing that for me? I want it to stop. Y'all need a little work, but it's okay. It's our first time together. We're going to start we're going to have rehearsal next week and start a world tour. We're going to start in Fruitland. Is that okay? We're going to meet at this stoplight in Fruitland. But anyway, I'm going to sing a phrase, and what y'all going to say? I want it to stop. Excellent, excellent. Okay. Picking your nose while you're driving. I want it to stop. Y'all ever see people picking their nose when they driving? Ain't that nasty? Sometimes OCD kicks in with me, and I'm thinking, what in the world are they doing with it while they driving? Nasty. Okay. Little Bobby running around a restaurant. I want it to stop. Y'all know Little Bobby. You seen Bobby before, right? He running from table to table. He climbing the chairs. I want snatch 2 people doing that one. Bobby and his mommy. Because all she's saying, Bobby, come back. Sit down, Bobby. Come here, Bobby. Bobby, stop. Bobby. She hasn't raised her voice once. And I'm thinking in my mind, get Bobby! Then you want to just snatch Bobby. You hit him with a corn now. Get over there, son. Yeah, we want that mess to stop. Okay, here we go. All the sisters wear hooker heels to church.
I want it to stop.
Y'all know them heels. Y'all know them heels. Them heels that make them walk around looking like they Clydesdales. They try not to fall over. I got hooker heels, don't listen. I can walk in the hooker heels 10 minutes and I'm done. Okay? 10 minutes. We're gonna stand in them 10, maybe 5. But they got timers. Not because they hurt my feet. I'm a little bit older than, so it's the hip. It's the hip. It's, see what I'm saying, in the back. See? I'm so glad I got a group of people that understand. Woo, Jesus. Okay. All the grown folk gelling down their baby hair.
I want it to stop.
Y'all know, grown folk, 40, 50, they still gelling baby hair. After 5, it's no longer baby hair. Tell your auntie stop, please. Tell your co-worker stop. Y'all know that co-worker. That black gel, and let them know black gel ain't working no more. They got edge control now. But listen, edge control got magic attached to it. Everybody here is slick with edge control. Sir, you have to get with a black person. They'll have to tell you later about what the edge control is. They'll tell you later. I'm sure they will. But, okay. All the preachers who want you to tap your neighbor.
I want it to stop.
Please. Y'all know Pastor somewhere. Please tell them to stop. They want you to tap your neighbor. High five your neighbor. Nudge your neighbor. Run across the room, tap somebody else's neighbor. Steal a neighbor. Punch a neighbor. They're about to start a riot in church. And here's the next thing. The next pastor that does that, I'm going to ask him after service, Pastor, can I have part of your offering? I'm waiting. Because daughter, why do you need part of my offering, daughter? Because I helped you preach. Y'all ever had to sit next to somebody that don't know how to stop talking? Right. You want to sing to the neighbor, please stop talking. I want you to stop. Please shut up. Just shut up, lady. Now, is it universal that ushers are mean? Is it universal? It's almost like they fill out the application and mean must be at the top of the application. Must be mean. Mean and surly. You go to church nowadays and they don't even want to sit you. Wait, they don't want to escort you from the door. They're just pointing to a seat. With an attitude. No. And then they got hand gestures nowadays. Y'all see the hand gestures? From usher to usher? It's almost like they're directing the airport. You see what I'm saying? Usher's getting fierce nowadays. Y'all go to the church where the preacher just wants you to fall to the floor? Okay, I'm hating it too. I hate to see that. Because you know they're doing it on purpose. They want to hold your neck, well, they hold your back, and then they got your neck like your head like this, and you got no other choice but to fall. So you come into church with this mind of resistance. Let them touch me. Let them touch me. I ain't falling. I will not fall here. I'm not going to do it. So we stand there.
Right.
Waiting. Waiting. Just waiting. So this is the stance right here. I'm ready. Go ahead, Pastor. They thinking you got the devil now. No, he's just not gonna push me down. And then we got these prophets. Don't get me wrong, I love church, I love God. Yeah. Y'all know the prophets be fishing sometimes, just be fishing. You got a cousin, you got a neighbor, you got a brother. You got noise in the back. What in the world? Hold up, wait. What was that? Y'all know how these pastors, prophets like to, they want to make sure that they're saying the right thing, so they ask you questions. You look like you have a neighbor. You look like you have, there's probably about 2 or 3 white people in your neighborhood. You know they want to fill you out. And then there's people that mess up because they get excited about what they hear them say. Like, yes, yes, I do have a neighbor. Yes. You drive a car. Yes, I drive a car. Yes, the Lord is using you. Won't he do it? Y'all want to mess up a prophet? Don't answer none of his questions. Right. Listen, I've had to do it one time, and the prophet called himself, asking me these questions, and I said, "You're the prophet, you tell me. Ain't you the prophet?" Oh, you sitting there looking at him like, you got kids. You got a husband. I'm not answering none of those questions. Might be FBI. He might have a bill he's trying to force me to pay. I'm not going to answer your question. Might try to serve me with some papers. You are Sheila. Okay. Close. Might be close. No, but I love God. I love church. Again, my husband is a musician, and I might sing a little bit. It's hard to sing when you got kids in the audience, and you're trying to babysit while you're singing. It's hard, because you're watching them cut up. You know, watch them going through people's pocketbooks and stuff. These are jokes, it's okay, you can laugh at them. No, but it's really hard to watch kids from standing up in the middle of the church. You know, you singing, "Bless the Lord, oh my soul. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. And the morning, bless his holy." Your mind is just like, oh my gosh, what is he doing? Right? You want to sit down? Be quiet. Just sit down somewhere. Here's the other thing about church. I'm gonna want to study this. Why we use an offender in church? What's this? I know. Because it don't make you invisible. We still see you moving. We still see you walking across the room. We still see it. So, I'm like, I don't have to ask the preacher permission, can I leave? Because I'm grown. But, this is kind of crazy. I stopped doing it. Somebody said it's just disrespectful, and I'm like, if I gotta go, I don't understand how it is. It's respect, because I'm thinking, now everybody is looking at me. I had to just draw attention to me. I'm trying to sneak out the back. We still see you. All 250 pounds of you is moving. Woo. All right, I think I'm done for the night, y'all. Yeah, I think I'm done for the night. Mr. Curtis, y'all, come on. Because I'm feeling sleepy. I need a nap. Them ribs. Oh, my God, yes.
I want to clap it up for She. All right, so we're gonna keep this going, and y'all know me. I'm not a comedian, but every now and then I like to come up here and I like to just share a few things, vent about a few things. And last week I was talking about the dumb questions that people ask. And there is such thing as a dumb question. And we talked about that. Some of you were in agreement with you. Some of you didn't realize that there were such things as dumb questions, so I just kind of pointed out a few, and you were like, some of it, they were like, yeah, that is dumb. Like, for example, one thing for sure, one case is the question of, are we there yet? While we're still riding 70 miles an hour down the highway, if we were there, we would be stopped, we would be parked, we will be getting out. So I'm not even going to talk about the dumb questions tonight. I just want to talk about some dumb statements, some of the dumb stuff that people say. Like, for example, for those of you who don't know, this is my opportunity to vent, get my therapist on without using my Obamacare. So y'all are my therapist for the next few moments. So one of the things that vexes me is, you ever go somewhere a little more dressed than usual, and somebody look at you and say, oh, you look nice today. So what I look like the rest of the days? I mean, so what was it different about today versus all the other days of the week where I came, maybe I was just looking like, I don't know, so maybe kind of check my gear, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have come outside with the burlap bag and the ragged jeans this day. So now when somebody says something to you about, and the reason for all my prayers, come on and clap it up for Deacon Donnie Dynamite. Come on, put your hands together for him.
That's enough. What's up with you? My God, y'all crowded in here. Elbow room. Need some space. Hold on. Let me catch my air. How y'all doing? Good Lord. Get yourself together down there. Y'all see I got my mask on. I know about 50 people been on this same mic. Had to come prepared. Woo! Get all that sexy. Where the phones at? Get that. Oh, this is crowded section right here. All this crowd almost fell. I hope y'all got insurance. Laughing Jack. Get all these people right here. Oh, never mind, never mind. What's up with your nephew on the stolen camera? Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to say that out loud. How we doing? I'm trying this again. How we doing? Make it sound like it's about 50 in here. Lisa, what's up with you? All right. DJ. All right, just got out. All right. Just got out. Coming up this jacket. Y'all already know how it go. Got the Laughing Jazz daycare. All right. Let me get off this jacket. Catch my air. What's up, nephew? You a nephew, ain't you? You ain't no girl, is you? You looking at me all funny style. I ain't gonna say niece, you might want to cut me. Let me get my stuff. I don't know why McCoy ain't got my stuff ready for me. Y'all excuse me, talk amongst yourselves. I had to disappear. I ain't gonna preach. I know y'all want me to preach. Sister girl, what's up, sister girl? Well, we had a ball in the club last night. You don't even look nearly as drunk as you was last night. Got it together, ain't you? Help Uncle with this sleeve so I come out this jacket. Help Uncle with that sleeve. Get that sleeve. All right, brace yourself, nephew. Go ahead, hold that for me.
I got you.
Get all that sexy. All right, clap like your hands work. All right. All right, catch my air. We're gonna get on with these church announcements so I can get all 3 million of y'all home safe. All 3 million of y'all. All right, get out of that. Get yourself together down there. You giggling for it. This is sexy. It's all sexy. Turn the music back up. Watch this, watch this. I come down there. Turn the music back up. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? Ah, there it is. That's the part I like right there. Oh. That's enough. Let me catch my air. Stole it all. Oh, man. Woo. Let me catch my air for real. Woo. I won't be before you all long, but as long as I'm here, we'll be before you. Get yourself together. Got a gift for you, young lady in the back. I see you checking me out. Checking me out. Sister girl drunk. Smell just like Hennessy. I got a gift for you. Make sure you show everybody. This your husband, ain't it? All right. Go and show everybody what. All right. Woo, let me catch my air. That's your husband shirt that you left over my house. Your husband shirt that you wore, that you left over my house. So put that away with you. Put that away. Don't show him. Don't show him. Hurry up, put it away. Don't show him. He's looking at it, staring at it. Woo. Get on with these. Get yourself together. Ladies in the back. What's up, ladies in the back? I come down there. I turn the music on again. Do-wop, do-wop. Tell your neighbor, do-wop, do-wop. Tell your neighbor, do-wop, do-wop. Not wop, do-wop, do-wop. Do-wop, do. Boy, you're remedial. We're gonna work with you. We're gonna work on colors next week. He down there wobbling woo. He down there wobbling woo. It's do-wop, do-wop. He ain't changed a bit. Tell somebody he ain't changed. He ain't changed. All right, it's like to get on with these announcements. Seriously. Tell your neighbor, God will make a way. Come on, y'all, for real. Come on, baby, you got a neighbor. Come on. God will make a way. All right, if their breath stink, you just tell them, oh, you're losing me. Only if their breath stink. Get yourself together down there. Get over these announcements. Get out of these clothes. Y'all getting all this sexy? All right. Get yourself together. All right. I came right, come prepared with the rain boot and the speaker. Chicken rain boot. This weather funny. You gotta wear a sneaker and a boot. You gotta wear a trench coat and a wife beater. This weather fun. Tell somebody this weather funny. Come on, somebody, you acting funny. You had that shirt on when you had this. Remember when it came up? No, never mind. Tell you that. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna get these announcements. I get out of here. Oh my goodness. Just sit down there. We bring you greetings from my Lord is awesome. I need every hour, especially after 9 o'clock. Mighty praise report missionary. I got a reason to shout about onion, sir. Use me, Lord. Allow me to use some breaks in between. My cup runneth over. Please pass me a napkin. DVD. RED 1, 2, 3. ABC. CBS, NBA, NBC, EBT, LTV. Brother, please remove your AT&T. Sister Mitchell, WIG. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you. Hey, Sarah. Oh, my jacket. Man, Jimmy Master, J.A.Y. Ashes T.O.E. Bruce L.E.D. And something else. Sister, you got something in your E.Y.E. Look on Matthew Mark, look at Leon, look at Leon, read your word. Come to the altar bold, but use your password. Worship Center. House of Lord and Savior on Fingerway Drive. It was like that. I sincerely apologize for holding up the service last week when he was kneeling at the altar for 15 minutes. Don't you pass it, I'm gonna keep it real. He was down there because he found some loose change. I was saying a lot. Real quick, my nephew. Loose change. He would like to. That's why he was at the altar. Apologize for holding up the service last week. Then for 15 minutes. At the altar for 15 minutes. Let me holler at you for the gift card. Let me holler. He said he's gonna keep it real. He was down there because he found some loose change. Get those tables. Come on down there. Gift card. Come on down there. Boy, y'all proud of this change. That's why he was at the altar that long. Boy, you must can't count. Down there for 15 minutes. Get yourself together. Let me holler at you for the gift card. Let me holler at you. Sister girl. Get yourself together, table. Get the table. I'm gonna come on down there. Come on down there. Boy, y'all crowded in there. Get some elbow room. There's about 300 large in there. 300 large. All right. Get yourself together. First, Sister Gerby, control you. You ain't going nowhere. You come in there and hug on you. Put this boot on you. Do what? Very special announcement. The church would like to thank First Lady Sheila and her man friend for donating Bibles from the Hilton Hotel. Thank you, Sheila. And her man friend. McCoy, you weren't supposed to hear that. What's her man from Lonnie Love? Before I get ahead of myself, the owner of a silver 2018 Audi with the bumper sticker reading, God is the truth, and personal plates reading, I'm a L-I-A-R. You left your window down. Get your vehicle, you're L-I-A-R. That's your vehicle. Fess up to it. Pat the bell in the back. What's up, baby? Pat you. I'm gonna come on down there. Don't act brand new. You got company with you. Hey, company. Everybody look at company. Hey, company. That's it. Good job, sir. Important announcement, Pastor McCoy. He said, sisters, please, this is serious, please, make sure all your money is from your secret place. Make sure your money is dried off before you put it in the offering. You know that secret place. You got a secret place. Dry your money off. This is what I'm getting at. You got your secret place? Got that secret place. I don't know if it's real, but you got a secret place. Even the fake. Dry that money off. Tell somebody, dry that money off. That secret place. No slippery money in the house. Tell somebody, no slippery money in the house. All dry. I'm gonna come on down there. What's up, company? Light skin, let your light shine. Let your light shine, light skin. Come on down there. She put that light skin all the way down. Lisa, you know. Lisa, no. Light. Lisa, light. It's my baby, that's light. Hey, I got this. Yeah, I don't need your help. I got this. Starting next Sunday, I got this. Tell somebody, I got this. You get all sexy side. Did you get it already? You ain't get my sexy side. Facebook me. All right. Try something. What you got in that cup? That ain't regular water. I'm just saying. That's that happy juice. She got happy. Tell somebody she got happy juice. All right. Why you staring at me like that in the back, brother? It was just a joke. That's my shirt I left at the house. Never mind. All right. Starting next Sunday. Starting next Sunday. Thanks to Brother in the Black and Sister Lisa. Thanks to them. Going back for second, thirds, and fourths for communion crackers and communion juice. All the members will be monitored. Thank you. Thanks to y'all going back for second, thirds, and fifths. He talking about break bread. He had bread in his pocket, juice. Thanks to them. Greedy. Tell somebody they're greedy. Just yourself together. I got a couple of more. Let's remember not to judge anybody. Amen? Amen. So with that being said, keep Brother McCoy in your prayers. He has been carrying around a box cutter, pepper spray, and brass knuckles. He wanted to make sure nobody would steal his joy. Ain't nobody gonna steal nothing from you, bruh. All that with you. Ain't nobody messing with you. Tell somebody, ain't nobody messing with you, bruh. Lighten up, family. We had a bit of a scare last week in church. 2 young ladies were cleaning on the baptismal pool, and they started, screaming and shouting, hooping and hollering and such. They thought it was a dead bat in the baptismal pool. Come to find out it was Sister Hellweed floating at the top. Sister Hellweed floating at the top. Oh, y'all like that one. Now you're loosening up. Now you're loosening up 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go on back for 12. Now you're loosening up. The hair weave always get them. The hair weave. And you happen to have your best hair on right now. All right. Clap it up for the best hair in the building. I seen one of the bald horses in Salisbury. I'm just saying. carry on. She's gonna shoot me. All right. Y'all clap for ignorant. Y'all clap for ignorant. Touch the, that's what I said. Touch the hem of my slacks production proudly present 3 gospel plays. Touch the hem of my slacks production. That's what I said. That's my sexy side. Y'all showing off down there. Get that boo. You got that boo? Got that boo. Facebook, man. Get that boo. I cross a leg on them.
That's how them new pastors coming in. That's how them visiting pastors coming in, trying to be all humble.
The only one got a shot of yak or something. Like a little, give me some. Sitting all humble. Sitting all humble. My choir is going to come before you. Glad to be here. I'm going to carry on. 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 3 hit gospel plays. 3 hit gospel plays. Lord, I heard you knocking, but I thought it was the popo. Like that one. You got clap for it. Pat in the mail, you clap and laugh for it. All this I've been saying, that you like ignorant, light skin. You like ignorant. Light. You at least are showing off. I'm trying to get that Linus Award tonight. Give it up. Trying to get that Linus Award. You see this, McCoy? You see this, McCoy? The second play. Get yourself together. Get yourself together. We're going to do something with ourselves later. You think you're laughing now? We're going to have a ball. Tell somebody we're going to have a ball. You mad because your hair weave was floating. It wasn't your hair weave, man. It was somebody else's. Get a hold of yourself. Tell somebody it ain't that serious. Tell somebody it ain't that serious. Not serious. Work with them, y'all. Work with them. We're going to work on numbers next week. Second play. I'm going to do the Lord's work and yours too if they're paying well. Y'all like that? And one of my favorites, I know God will supply all of my needs, but I'm going to steal some of this stuff I'm in need of. All right. One of my favorite. All right. Because of brother in the Hawaii 5-0 shirt. That's what I said. Because of his absence in church, running the new single women in the choir has dropped 95%. All right. Because of his absence in church. Play the Hawaii 5-0. That's what I said. That's what I said. You can laugh. She's scared to laugh. She spare her laughs. LOL, 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 LOL. She spare her laughs. Small note. Boy, y'all are laughing too much in here. Small note from the usher board. This is for Sister Shishi again. Hey, Sister Shishi, she slipped out. She gone. Thank you. Wow. Don't talk back. I talk to myself. All right. Sister Sheila's gone. Thank you. All right. The usher board, Sister Sheila, one of your ushers had found one of your wedding rings. Well, your wedding ring, Sister Sheila, it was in Deacon Walter's office next to his slow jam CDs and his bottle of honey. Whatever they into, tell somebody whatever they into. Get yourself together, McCoy, don't you fall. I see you back there, McCoy, don't you fall. All right, he can laugh. Special announcement for the Lord is moving in this place service. Pastor asks that all the wheelchair members please have your wheels greased up, unlocked, and ready to roll. When God moves, you move just like that. You like that one? When God moves, you move. Tell somebody, just like that. Just like that. Brother Toughface in the back. Rip it up for Brother Toughface. Staring at me. I must owe some back child support with that kind of look. That's one of them stares you owe me money. Look, where was I? All right. Starting next week, ushers will be passing out hand sanitizer before we all touch and agree. All right. All right. Thank you. Real quick, very important announcement from the Performing Arts Ministry. They said with the budget being low, Negroes ain't got a budget. That's what they ain't got a budget. They ain't got a budget. Sister, I forget your name. Sister, thank you, Snitch. Y'all give it up for Snitch. You sitting right next to a snitch. You ain't even know it. That's your buddy. She ratted you out. Don't do nothing around her. She gonna rat you out. Sister Yolanda. Thank you, sister. I ain't know your name till I had help from Snitch. A little help from Snitch. All right. No friends in school. No puppy. Hand puppet. All right. Where was I? Because of Sister Yolanda, she would like to know if anyone has tall dogs to replace the donkeys in the east. Don't you fall. Let me finish. Don't fall. More to come. There's more to come. Let me fix it. Yeah, she want to know if you have any tall dogs
To play the part for donkey, or if you have anybody in your family with donkey-like features, they can be the donkey, is what I'm... Stop shaking your head. She said, I got a family member like a donkey. Tell Brother Donkey to come on down there and get that part.
If you got a little hee-haw right here, you got a little hee-haw right here, you get the part. That's what I'm getting at. Because somebody got a little hee-haw in my family. I got a little hee-haw in my family. Hee-haw. All right. Oh, and the play is Jesus, move that rock and get on up from there. I like that play. Jesus, move that rock and get on up from there. Move the rock and get on up from there. We're going to do something with ourselves. I'm going to get out of y'all's way. Tell your neighbor, do something with yourself. All 25 of your neighbors. Do something with yourself. Do something with yourself. All right. If your feet stink through your shoes, do something with yourself. Do something with yourself. Do something. I'm going to find some more. I got plenty more. Brothers. All brothers. All 30 of you. If your jeans or slacks require you to do the pull up and twitch, do something with it. You know what I'm talking about. That's your mama in there, boy. Do something with yourself. If you brag that you got a 99.9 on your HIV test, do something with yourself. Nothing to brag about, bruh. Nothing to brag about, Patty the Bell. Nothing to brag about. If your kid's high chair is the best seat in your house, do something with yourself. Brothers! What is he doing? How you go to sleep? I know he ain't sleep while I'm up here. Boy, let me get off this stage. How you go to sleep and all this funny? Nephew! There you go again. You my nephew! He a niece, I'm sorry, work with him. Work with him. He a niece. 3 million laughing. If you take a bath and you get out and that water look like chitlin juice or Cocoa Puff milk, do something with yourself. Your water should look like chitlin juice. Cocoa Puff milk. Why your water look like Cocoa Puff milk? You ain't got no teeth in your mouth. Talk about you got a sweet tooth. Do something with yourself. Last one, I'm gonna get off this stage. Sisters, get my music. What? Sisters. Sisters, if your ponytail's the same size as your house keys, do something with yourself. All right, that's my time. Same sizes. You like that, but you like it. I see a ponytail down there. That's a car key. I know a car key when I see one. That's a car. Get that car key. Get that car key. Get that car key. Over y'all. My special request, y'all. Get my jacket, girl. Gonna do it for Sean and Vinny. If it is.
I told y'all from the beginning. I apologized. I can't apologize no more. You can pick your friends. You can pick your nose. You can even pick your friend's nose. But you can't pick your family. I apologize. I told y'all what was about to happen, and y'all stayed and sat here and didn't do it anyway. So it's your fault. That was all on y'all. Clap it up again for Deacon Donnie Dynamite. All right, so we're getting ready to wrap this up. Y'all having a good time? Everybody having a good time? Awesome. So I'm going to say a couple things, and then we're going to let Dark Gold Jazz close us out. But we want to thank each and every one of you for coming out. We want to thank you all for taking out of your time to come and be with us. We hope and pray that that you'll continue to come, that you continue to bring friends, that you continue to tell more people about what it is that we're doing. Like us on Facebook, Laughing Jazz Entertainment, spelled just like this. Look for this logo right here, LAFF, apostrophe N, Jazz, J-A-Z-Z. Did I spell it right? Jazz? Okay, just making sure. Entertainment, all right? So we're going to continue to do this, and we're going to continue to hopefully get bigger and better each time, all right? So tell some friends about us, tell some enemies about us, tell Jesus about us, and hopefully that'll make sure that everybody knows about us. All right, so thank you again. We want to clap it up. We want to appreciate DJ G-Force, all the poets, Lisa Lips, King Langston, Sister Big. We want to thank Sierra Hayward, Songbird C, for coming out. And again, we want to thank Dark Gold Jazz for the amazing performance earlier. Remember, you can get the food at Grillin's Restaurant in Princess Anne. Again, so look for us. Our next show will be May 3rd. Remember, right now we're only doing every first and third Friday. We'll be right back here on May 3rd, okay? So just like we always do, for those who attend, and this is our little secret, shh. Look for us on Eventbrite. We will be setting up our new Eventbrite page so that you can order your tickets early bird style. And for those who are here, you'll be the first to be able to get your next ticket for $15. That's only going to last until midnight Sunday. All right. Then Monday it goes back to regular price, which is $20 per ticket. All right. So again, look for us again on Eventbrite, Laughing Jazz Entertainment. Our next show will be May 3rd. Early bird special for you will be $15 if you get your tickets between now and Sunday midnight, which is technically Monday morning, all right? So please welcome as we get ready to go. Come on and clap it up once again for Dark Gold Jazz.